I gotta tell you guys something. I like One Piece. I'd like to clarify though, when I say I like One Piece, I don't mean I just like it. I mean I may or may not have developed my entire personality around it for the last decade of my life. One Piece is a show that I was aware of from my childhood, and I'd seen maybe like an episode or two with the 4Kids dub, but I'd kind of written it off until one day I came home from school and I was like, you know what? Just because this thing has 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 trillion billion episodes doesn't mean I won't like it, and so I gave it a shot. Ever since then, I have been determined to do whatever it takes, even if it means destroying my cognitive abilities, to become the ultimate One Piece fan. In my 16 years of watching anime and reading manga, this right here is the #1 series for me, and I don't even know if it's close. I'm not sure of a single series that has compelled me more than One Piece. At the time of starting it, I was 17 years old, so it had everything I needed. It had cool fights, an amazing soundtrack, unbelievably awesome characters, and a story that I just could not stop following. I was slamming those episodes back, episode after episode, day after day. Honestly, it felt like I was never gonna catch up. I was in heaven. I was spending pretty much every moment outside of school binging the hell out of One Piece, and I could not have been happier. Unfortunately, within just about a year, I caught up to One Piece's anime. And so, I decided to do the only thing that made sense. I read the manga. Like all of it. From the beginning. Yeah, I've always had a problem with letting series go, but One Piece, that's a whole different beast. I really wanted to stretch it out by just reading the manga from the beginning, and I'm glad I did. Of course, I caught up to the manga and I still was not satisfied, which just kind of caused me to reread and rewatch the series over and over, and that has persisted to this day. I have honestly turned into a monster. I'm the person of the friend group that's going to recommend One Piece to everybody they know, regardless of the small barrier to entry that One Piece has. This series is honestly just built different. The lore, the world building. You've heard everybody praise that. I'm not the first person to praise that, but they praise it for good reason. I was eased so well into this massive story that by the time it dropped me into its giant world, I was down to learn more as opposed to feeling overwhelmed. And these characters, oh my god, these characters. I have never connected with fictional characters to this level before in my life. I have laughed with them, I have cried with them, I have adventured with them, and it has just been
sensational.
Like, as silly as it sounds, I've found guidance through these characters at a time in my life when I needed it most. And I have no shame at this point in my life to admit that. I know. I said it sounds crazy, but I did start watching this series at a pretty impressionable age, so it's only natural that it might have shaped my way of thinking a little bit. Only problem is, I'm 26 years old and I still will see the phrase One Piece out in the wild and immediately my brain starts blasting We Are and I need to find the nearest dictator in power and overthrow him. To say I have become obsessed with the series would honestly be an understatement. And listen, I know the series is really long, but I started it when I was me. How was I supposed to know that it was going to go on for more than a third of my life and continue? I can't just stop now. You know, and as I've gotten older and reflected on this series, I do feel like it has changed me for the better, and that might sound kind of crazy because, you know, it's a fictional cartoon, but I truly believe that it has changed me for the better. There are themes present in the series that I would have never even picked up on my first watch, so every time I've rewatched or reread the series, I just pick up on new details, new themes, new character moments, new ways for me to look at characters in a different way or to view this series in a different light. I grabbed a few volumes that mean a lot to me, and I wanted to talk about them here, so this is your warning if you're somehow still watching this video and you are not caught up to One Piece. Spoiler alert, because I'm going to be talking about some stuff. So obviously a lot of people already know about, like, Volume 1. This is where it started, and it is still one of the most important volumes to One Piece to me, because if it didn't have a start that hooked me, I may never have gotten into it. It's pretty humble beginnings, admittedly, compared to where we are now, but the series has over 1,100 chapters, so it's a little excusable in my opinion, and it's been going for 27 years at this point. It wasn't until Volume 9 when I decided, you know, this series is something special. You know, looking through here, this is the Arlong Park arc, which is usually around the time when people decide, yeah, One Piece is worth sticking around. And this was the time where I was like, yeah, I'll commit. This is something special. This features some of the most important moments in One Piece, especially early on, in my honest opinion. You know, we've got the moment where Nami finally breaks down and asks Luffy for help, and he says, of course I will, and then that's where you finally get the Straw Hat Walk. The first Straw Hat Walk, which is kind of like a very important thing that happens in One Piece. It's a very iconic thing. They do it multiple times, but this is the origin of the Straw Hat Walk. And then I got two volumes that kind of go together and kind of don't. I got volume 35 and volume 41. So these both cover from the Water 7 and Enies Lobby arcs. Volume 35 in particular is the volume that finally made me stop being an Usopp hater. I was one of the biggest Usopp haters starting the show, which is crazy to me because now I think no main character in One Piece is bad. Yeah, no, I was a really big Usopp hater, and reading through this and seeing him and his connection to the Going Merry, and when they have to, you know, move on, seeing him challenge Luffy and actually go all out is still one of the coolest moments in anime to me ever. And it still sets the standard for how I compare, like, interpersonal conflict when it comes to shonen anime and manga. But for the volume that made me go, yeah, this is #1 of all time, that's volume 41. And if you know, you know. This is in the middle of Enies Lobby, after Robin's flashback. It involves one of the most iconic scenes in the series, and it is one of the first scenes to make me genuinely cry when I watched it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the I Want to Live scene. Oh my god, especially in the anime, whether you're watching it in Japanese or English, what an incredible scene, man. This series is something special, and that is around the point when I was like, I'm gonna annoy the shit out of everybody to watch this because my mind has been blown. Volume 84, I just also wanted to quickly shout out because it has a scene that I can personally rewatch in the anime or reread and get pretty choked up. And that's when Luffy is screaming at Sanji after their battle, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I need you. I need you or my dream can't come true. I love that shit, man. I don't actually own all of the volumes of the series yet. That's expensive, but I wanted to also shout out pretty much all of the Egghead arc. There's not a bad chapter in that arc, and it's contender for best arc of the series since Enies Lobby, in my honest opinion. It got to the point where I wouldn't shut up about One Piece to my friends that I decided I should probably just start talking to a microphone about it. I just kind of felt like talking about One Piece and how it made my brain chemistry alter to the point where I'm just a ridiculous One Piece fan that acts like he's 15 all the time when he's telling people to watch a show about pirates. I'm still so passionate about this series that I made a tutorial on how you can become a super fan of One Piece like me. Let's take a look. Hello, and welcome to your guide to becoming the ultimate One Piece fan. I'm your host, Mr. One Piece himself. In just a few easy steps, I can show you how you, too, can become a One Piece fan that everybody likes. First, I need you to understand that going forward, One Piece is the only media you are going to be consuming. You also need to be good at spreading propaganda, so everyone you know or don't know, you need to tell to watch and read One Piece. And if you see them reading or watching anything else, just stop them and give them One Piece instead. Remember, you're doing them a big favor. And if anyone tells you this series is too long, just remember, they're too long. You gotta go about life thinking like a One Piece fan if you want to be a true One Piece fan. You gotta be that person that at every waking moment in your friend group, you gotta go, hey guys, have you seen this episode of One Piece? And they're like, no, shut the fuck. And most importantly, you have to understand, not everybody's gonna like the same things that you are for the series. And those people are fucking stupid. You're gonna come across critics of One Piece. And to that, you're just gonna ignore them. They're not real. Can't criticize One Piece if they're not real. There will be no criticizing One Piece or Ekrito Oda or anything that he does for this series. This series is perfect in every goddamn fucking way. There is no way on this planet that I will ever stand for the idea that anything other than perfection is this. One Piece is truly the most perfect series of all fucking time, and I swear to God, okay, oh, gee, okay, oh. Hey. You think it'd be okay if I went and saw therapy again? I'd like to end this video off with something negative about being a One Piece fan. Unfortunately, being a One Piece fan means I just can't seem to enjoy any series nearly as much. And it certainly doesn't help that I started One Piece at an impressionable time of my life, so there's no way I'm gonna find another series that ever connects with me like this again. What is this, anyway? Ah, shit.